today. She is an inspiration. She is a powerhouse. She is just truly a bombshell. And that's why I wanted to take a few minutes and just let you all get to know her, because she really is pretty spectacular. So Erin, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I found out about Erin somehow down the rabbit hole of amazing female entrepreneurs and in the land of Marie Forleo, and started to follow her, started to get her emails in my inbox every week, which have been just incredibly heartwarming and personal, and she does a great job of really letting you into her world. And she's on a pretty amazing mission. I have to say, I love what this woman is doing. And instead of taking her thunder, I am going to actually let Erin explain to you. So Erin, the way I word it is, if you had one message that you could give to the world, and you're doing this so amazingly well, what would that message be?
God, encapsulate it all into one tiny message. Well, I think it's really simple. It's that movement in your body creates movement in your life. And I just, my mission is really about helping people move from a place of joy and excitement and expression and enthusiasm. And when I say move, I really do mean, exercise and fitness falls into that category, but I don't always really love to use those words, because I think any kind of movement can get you feeling better, looking better, all of those things. So instead of exercising or moving from a place of dread or punishment, what I'm really interested in is helping people learn how to move from a place of joy and do it as a way to step into their power, as opposed to just lose weight and get skinny and all of that.
Yes, and it's so incredible because you created something called Shrink Session, and I have actually done this. It is a kind of, I have to admit, it was a little weird at first, because you're actually like saying some affirmations while you're working out, which if you guys haven't tried this, it's really using a different part of your brain while you're moving your body than you normally do. So there's sort of this learning curve. And it's really fascinating to kind of exercise both your brain and your body. And I would love to just hear how you got to this place, how you came up with this concept.
Yeah, well, Shrink Session is a combination of cardio dance and some yoga, and then we combine that all with these positive mantras that you're saying out loud while you're moving. So it's really intense. And I think that people at first are like, that's weird, because we're not used to exercising that way. But I like to think of it almost as like, they always say that like, Madonna, when she's training for her concerts, that she'll get on the treadmill and sing her songs out loud. So it's almost like that. It's like, they're lyrics. And I like to think of them almost as like lyrics for your life. This is like a workout for your life, not just for your body. So it really started, I grew up as a dancer, and I danced my whole life, and always loved to move in that way. And when I was around 18 or 19, I started, developing more interest in spirituality and diving deeper into that part of my life, because I had gone through a really rough time my freshman year of college. My mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. It was my first semester away at college. There was just a lot of things on my heart that sort of sent me into a real deep sadness and a deep depression. And that's where this desire to understand myself better and to dive deep into spirituality began. And what really happened was one summer I was dancing. I was doing this dance program in New York City, and I was dancing with some of the most incredible dancers in the world. And up until that point, I was, a pretty confident dancer, but then you're surrounded by these insane dancers, and I was like, oh my God, I have so much more to learn and so much to do. And I started to feel very insecure, and I would find myself standing in the back of the room, and I felt like the one thing that I was struggling with was picking up movement fast enough. As a dancer, you have to be able to pick up movement quickly. Like the teacher throws choreography at you, you have to be able to do it quickly. And I just felt like I was so in my head. I was so overthinking it all the time that I couldn't just allow myself to be open to receive the information and then just to physically do it. And I was like, I'm never going to make it as a dancer unless I figure this thing out. And so every day before dance class, I would sit with my journal, and I came up with this exercise for myself where I wrote down all the things that I believed about myself as a dancer, which were like, I don't pick up combinations fast enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not tall enough, or whatever these, negative beliefs or thoughts were. And then I created these mantras or affirmations that were the opposite of that. And so what I would do is I would write these mantras like over and over and over again in my journal. Like I pick up combinations easily and effortlessly. I see movement and I get it. I stand in the front row, they throw it at me and I'm open and available. And I would just write for 10, 15, 20 minutes before dance class. And that was really the summer that I transformed as a dancer, and picking up combinations became my greatest strength. And I knew that it was because of this sort of practice that I gave myself. And I realized like that I really was capable of changing my thought patterns and my beliefs and like old negative beliefs. And so that's sort of where my sort of fascination with mantras really came from. That's sort of where it all started.
I love that. I get goosebumps when you tell that story because it's so amazing when you think about how much power we actually have to create changes within us just by changing our mindset. And I think that's really the heart of Shrink Session, isn't it?
It really is. And the one thing that, I want people to understand, because you read all the time like, oh, do mantras or affirmations really work? And the thing with Shrink Session is not just about thinking things, because the mind, there's many levels to our beliefs. It's like we have a conscious, belief, and then we have subconscious beliefs, and then we have feelings, and we're operating on all these different levels. So, if you just sit down and you just think affirmations over and over again, your body knows the real truth, right? Your body is like, I don't believe that. And because the body has a lot of information from years and habits past. So with Shrink Session, the reason why we're saying it while we're moving is because we actually want to send a new signal to the entire body, to every cell in your body, so that it becomes like really a deeper feeling than just sort of this intellectual idea of a mantra, an affirmation, or a new thought like, oh, I am peace, I am one. Well, that's a great idea. But if your body's like, no, you're not, I don't believe you, then we have a problem. Then it doesn't really work. So the power of Shrink Session is that we want to move. We want to get you open. We want to change your state, literally change your physiological state. And then from that place, when you're open and available, implant new ideas. That's the way I like to think of it. We're planting new seeds when we're open.
I love it. And tell me how Shrink Session has really been helping people around the world.
It's so amazing. So I've been teaching Shrink Session here in New York City for 2 years now. And so I get to see a lot of people, and I get to see them sort of change and transform before my eyes. And then I launched the online version of it where we have videos online. And you never know when you launch, a product, all the entrepreneurs watching, you don't know. You're like, are people going to buy this? I mean, I knew that it worked because I had taught it live, but you never know how things are going to go when you translate it to an online product. And it's been outstanding. I mean, people all over the world are shrinking. There's people in Australia and London and Ireland and Hong Kong. And it's so cute. I have these Disney princesses who are all working in Hong Kong right now, and they all get together in front of their computer and they do a little shrink session. But I just get the most remarkable emails from people all over the world, how, it's changing the way they feel about their bodies. It's changing them it's helping them get over difficult times in their life. So, it's remarkable, the benefits of the program, and I'm just amazed at how many people all over the world are doing it.
When you started, did you see that? Did you see that coming? Did you know that it would be this big? In all
honesty, no. I mean, I knew that I had something really special, and I believed in what I was doing. But this is something that I tell even my clients, my coaching clients, because, I do some coaching too, is like, I really, with this first initial product, because, I'm coming from an artist background. So for me, making something, creating a product is an act of creativity. It's an act of creating art. And so for me, this first product was very much as much for myself as it was for the world, because it was something that I had to say, I had to express, I had a story to tell. I wanted to shoot these beautiful videos. I wanted to create a atmosphere where people would log on and go into this members area and feel like they felt special, and they felt joy, and they felt peace just by looking at it. So for me, initially, it was very much just a simple act of creativity, which I think is so important for entrepreneurs when you're first starting, is that you do take time, like, what is it that you want to say in the world? And now what's really exciting is that now that I'm getting the feedback that I'm getting, now I'm like, okay, what else can I make that's really for you? How can I really go on and serve people, in that way? Mm-hmm. But I think it's twofold. I think when you're creating something as an entrepreneur, it's really important, we always say, oh, you want to be of service, and absolutely 100%. Like, we're all doing this ultimately to be of service. But don't forget that you're being of service to yourself. And sometimes by making the very thing that you want to make, you are being very much of service to yourself, so that you're brightening your own light, like just by making something that you believe in. And then sort of the effect happens after that.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so obviously you've used video. If everybody should go to her site, erinstutland.com, and look at her beautiful videos. She just shines on camera. But you've also, as you mentioned, used this for Shrink Session to be able to get people to do it who aren't actually there in person. So tell me a little bit about how video has actually impacted your business. We got a taste of that in the last answer that you gave, but really dive into that for me.
Yeah, I think, video is so powerful. It really gives people an opportunity to get to see and feel your essence, that you get that in words. And some people are incredibly expressive with their words and their writing and blog posts. So you get to really know people. But I don't know, there's something about getting to know somebody's, face and how they interact and their style. And so it's been really powerful for me. It's a great way, because I think also as a teacher and someone who teaches live classes, video's been a great way for me to translate sort of what I do in front of people and reach more people.
That's awesome. And yeah, obviously it's working so well, especially for, people like you who do teach a class that is physical as well as, because you can actually show people the moves, you can explain things. It's really, really amazing. Tell me also, because one of the things that I have been noticing, and one of the things that we've actually worked a little bit on, is you have been blowing up with media. I mean, you are getting all kinds of attention now as well with press, and tell me about how that has helped get you in front of new audiences.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. Shrink Session is the feature workout in Glamour magazine this month, and yeah, so exciting. And I just did a segment on Lisa Oz, who's Dr. Oz's wife. She's got a new show, and I did another segment on another show on this network. And so, media is great, and I think if you can get some good press spots, it's a great way to expand and to grow your reach, and also to, just solidify what it is that you're doing. Mm-hmm. I also think that, people ask me, oh, how did you get all this? How did you secure all this stuff? And I will say, like, it's been quite magical. I wish I had a great formula to offer people, but it's been really magical. And that's actually something that I teach people. It's really about energy. And I had a very clear intention that this is what I wanted, and then, sort of released it and did my own. And in the meantime, did my own footwork on just building my product and making the best version of what I can do. That's really where I put my focus.
That's awesome. So any advice, if you could give even one piece of advice to people who are just starting out or are really ready to become visible, to stop hiding and really get out there through video and media, what would you say? I would say, similarly to kind of what I was saying about creating something for yourself, I think that it's very easy to get really caught up in, like, are people going to like it? What are people going to think? Do I even have a story to tell? Is what I'm offering interesting? And I think you have to be at first a little bit, I don't know if this is the right word, but you have to be a little bit selfish yeah, my idea is really good. I have a story to tell, and I'm not really going to worry if people like it or not. Like, I think you have to have at first that sort of confidence in your own story and your own vision and your own ideas. And I look at it very much like, I guess, from the perspective of being an artist. Some of the greatest plays or movies or songs ever written came totally and fully from somebody's self-expression. They didn't care what the audience thought. They didn't care if people liked their music. They didn't care if people were going to read it. Like, they just were like, I have a story to tell, and I need to tell it. And then I think that's a really sometimes valuable place to start. Like, you just have to connect so deeply with your passion and your story that you have to get it out there. And then you can kind of work the details after that. But don't be afraid. Like, you have something valuable to say, and somebody out there is going to resonate with your story. And so I guess that's where I say, being selfish in terms of yes, selfish. I'm going to spend time investing in myself. I love it. Okay, so this has been so amazing. Thank you so much for spending the time. And I just want to tell everybody as well that they can actually go and they can try Shrink Session for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you come to shrinksessionworkout.com, you can enter your name there, and we'll deliver a free workout right to your inbox. And I have to say, people, I get emails from people all the time. They're like, "I do your free workout every day," and I'm like, "Oh my God, wait, I need to this is really valuable, this free workout." So I'm like, but it gave me great information. I'm like, oh, I need to create more products like this one because it's a short, 15, 20-minute workout. But people do it every day to kind of get their day started and their day going. So if you feel like you need something to get yourself moving and you don't want to spend a full hour, come download the workout. It's totally free for now. Maybe we're going to change it soon. So come now, and it's yours. You'll have it forever. So you can do that workout and make it part of your your daily routine.
Awesome, Erin. Thank you so much. It's been
You're
such a
welcome.
treat to get to know you better and to get to work with you. And I look forward to many more opportunities for us to co-brand and to have fun.
Thank you so much. You are outstanding. I've so enjoyed getting to know you. I love the work that you're doing. It's amazing.
Thanks, Erin. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.